Thank you very much, Ka. Very important lab in this. And last but not least, since we have Ajahn Sakon right here, would you like to share a little bit about Human-Centered Design Lab? Or just very short, like 1 minute, 2 minutes is okay. พงศักดิ์ or LI is okay too. Okay. There is one.
Oh, hello. Actually, we have the Human Centered Design Lab on the first floor, and actually, I didn't know many of your guys here. Sorry for that, because you are new for me. Because right now I'm working as the Director of Institute of Learning at the KMUT. So I'm rarely coming to the school. And we have the Human Centered Design Lab, and we have some of the what you call the tool for the research. If you guys want to use, for example, we just have a 3D scanner, so you can scan a small one, not a big one. That's only 40,000 baht, something like that. Not too expensive. If you want to scan the object, and we have a lot of research tool like eye tracking device you can use for some of the project on advertising or something like that, and pressure sensor for ergonomic. So we have a lot of things that can serve the commission design, product design, ergonomic, and what else we have? 3D printer. We have 2 3D printing from. We got the budget from OKMD, that we use that funding to 3D printer. What else? And we do on a lot of microcontroller. Maybe you kind of know what it is. It's a small computer that you can student can programming on some of the interactive product, something like that. Okay, that's all for the SCD. But if you would like to do something like what else? Usability testing, you can in the lab as well. But we need to clear it up because a lot of stuff put over that space. And besides that, I'm working on the learning institute. If you interested, we have SEL Center for Effective Teaching and Learning. It's over there for new Ajahn. If a new Ajahn, you can go to there. We have a new method of teaching and learning. And what else? School. We have School of Science and Engineering in LI, and gifted education in LI. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ajahn Sakon. Okay, I think you are listening to all of the labs already, and you might realize that actually all of the lab is like multidisciplinary. So it's not just multidisciplinary learning, but also co-creating, co-working, that we can join the works together for the bright future of our school. So the next session, we would like to hands-on to our guests, Kun Terry and Kun Pla. If you have some reflection for the lab or you would like to start for the workshop activities, that is very exciting. And it will be fun activities that we can join and create, some co-create our future together. So I will leave the floor for Kun Terry and Kun Pla.
Okay, so this is really, really interesting. So thank you so much. We're going to split up the next 2 hours into a little bit short reflection, and then Pla will lead an exercise, and then we're going to have a little brainstorming workshop. Okay? There's no right or wrong answer in any of this because we're all here experimenting. So overall, from what I saw today, and again, it's very, very little to know what all of you are doing throughout the years to see it in a 2 or 5 minute PowerPoint. So I'm apologizing beforehand. But what I did notice, and this is compared to the schools that I've taught in Europe, I've taught in the States. This is compared to what I have seen in other universities. I'm not that aware of the other universities in Asia, so you can tell me. But what I did notice that all of you, besides being very integrated, you all do research. Now, that is not a given. There's a lot of schools, graduate and even, well, maybe not PhD, but graduate schools that do not do research. Now, research covers a lot of things. It could be qualitative or quantitative. So you are all doing research, which is quite impressive. You also have a very, what seems like a very process way of going about your research, which again is very impressive. You work with real world clients and projects. Again, it's not, I mean, I was really kind of surprised to see how many types of clients you actually work with, from bridges to cities to farms. You know, when you really think about it, that's quite a bit. The other thing is that you're actually getting out of the classroom. How many teachers actually would like to do that? And you seem to do it very well, almost comes second nature. Your presentations are very, very informative. I was going to say nice, but it's not about being nice all the time. It's about being informative. You are able to capture a lot of data on your presentations. And this is so critical now in this age of information. How do you convey it fast? And then lastly is the multidisciplinaryness of your work, which kind of leads me to a problem I saw. Now, maybe, I'm not sure, but if I was a client coming to you, I really wouldn't know where to go, because you're all doing a lot of the same things. And if I did know where to go, I would probably be coming to you with a very traditional problem, which you don't really want. You want something more experimental. So that's just a question for you to think about. If I was a client, unless you were to reach out to me, so your interdisciplinary, it also could be a weakness, perhaps. The other thing is that in terms of internationalism, I think your localism is great. It looks like you're all over Thailand, and you're, you know, in a few other areas in Asia. I guess the question is, what are you really, like, I didn't see any software or user experience. And being international, that's the first thing I think about, globalism. And you know, an app is very global. So even though a lot of the work here was very smart, but it was also very three-dimensional. The lighting is also, and that's not three-dimensional, but in terms of globalization, what are you doing that allows yourself to be exported around the world? Again, it's just a question, because that's how Silicon Valley became popular. It's digital, okay? And maybe it's in your media program, which I didn't see. So that's kind of my summary. I think you've got a lot. And I think, I'm going to guess, that my number one rule is don't assume, so I'm not assuming this, is that you have so much that you don't even realize it. So now Pla's going to do a little exercise, and then we're going to have some questions. But I would like to ask you, what do you think about where, was I right or wrong or off the mark?
Hello. Yes, we have a programming as well. We teach students how to do the software as well. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make someone talk. What do you think about?
You mean like your reflection upon?
I'm not trying to be right or wrong. I just want to get a dialogue here.
I think you probably, yeah, you are kind of right, I think. Yeah, I think we are kind of doing so many things that, you know, like go out of the, but I think, you know, that's because of the, maybe the direction of KMUTT and also like the government as well, that trying, like I said, you know, making people in the academia kind of, you know, go out and help. Developing the country, the Thailand 4.0 kind of thing. I'm not sure, are you familiar with? Yeah, that's a kind of a buzzword at the moment, Thailand 4.0.
Okay, great. Okay, so unless there's someone else, I'm going to give this over to Pla.
Thank you. Okay, before starting the exercise, I just give a super brief reflection from me as a student that just graduated from university. One thing that I have learned is that I'm impressed that there are so many things that happen here that I never known before. That's one way. But on the other hand, I look at myself as a student. If I have to be here, what is the message that I would think about? Or also how you and student interact with each other. And that the reason I talk about it is because when I think about this Stanford or this school right now, when they talk about the roles of student and teacher, it's actually more nearly like the same level. The teacher is not the person who only teach one way, but they said it's about learning from each other. And that is also bring in the community, which I see a lot of things happen right here. But maybe you might think about like what is the more advanced level, not only bring student out to community, but how can you bring in community like from there and have them bring their knowledge or their own wisdom to share with the university. And I guess that would be to help you to think about like GLOCAL, which means like global mindset or framework, but bring in the local wisdom into the curriculum. Yeah. Okay.
You want me to hold your mic while you do the game? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to be Pla's assistant, and we're going to have some fun.
Okay, change the mode. So I guess now everyone just finished lunch, so it would be great if you just exercise a little bit, right? So can you all please stand up? And can you please come in the circle? Yeah, the closer one. Maybe you can stand there. Okay.
Okay. You starting the coffee? Okay.
All right. So what I'm going to do now is actually a silent exercise. So you don't have to talk, but just need some movement. So there are two persons, Terry and me, and this is the middle of the room. So what are we going to do right now is basically to show two words, and you have to choose side, either there or here. You can be in the middle of the room, okay? And this will help us to know you better, or even to help you to know each other better, okay? Are you ready? Okay, the first one. I always believe that designer love coffee, so it's not true, right? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
If the coffee is like Starbucks, probably I can go in.
Ah, okay. Okay, hi. Okay, okay. Now, the second one. Dog and cat. Okay. Okay. So it seems like people that love coffee mostly love dog. I'm not sure, but look like that. Oh, okay. Force. Okay, have two choice. Okay. Okay, the third one. Apple and Android, not apple and orange. Android versus Apple.
Jump follower.
Oh. Okay. Can
Yeah, my phone is Android, but my Mac is Apple.
okay. Okay. Okay, the next one. Online book versus printed. Why do you think only yoga?
I think most of designers like to touch in the physical thing, so we have engaged in the experience and emotional more. But actually, I choose online because I run out of the space to keep the book on my bookshelf. So my husband doesn't allow me to buy book anymore. So if I have to buy online. Okay, that's my reason.
From you.
Based on, can you explain based on?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it right now. Creative.
Which one is one?
If you are on this size 1, and then if you are on that size 10, how you rank yourself between 1 to 10? Most creative.
Out of scale.
Can I ask for a little into it, why are you here?
You know, like, I'm not that creative. I tell you, yeah. I always surprised when I see really, like, you know, creative idea from the students, from the students. I said, how can you do that?
So again, this is to my surprise because I'm the non-designer, and when I ask this question in real world, most people would, like especially business people, would come on this side, and I always believe that if the designer would be on that side, but now it's like not so true.
Money
เป็นงั้นเหรอ
money oriented.
And now is the last question. The same, from 1 to 10, how would you rank yourself for innovative?
Okay, so I am now giving the microphone over to you, and you are leading this course. Okay, let me ask you, why are you here?
I think at scale 1 to 10, at least one person need to be 10.
Good. Good answer.
Okay, I have a question. I see a lot of you were there before and now you moved quite far. Maybe you can give me some idea why.
I know myself and I know that innovative. That's simple.
What do you mean by innovative?
I think it's quite related to creative, and I'm not very creative person, so I think I'm not very innovative too. Okay, you want to add more?
So I'm not creative and I'm not innovative, so nothing new from me.
So I think it's really interesting the differences that we have in defining creativity and innovation. I think one, the fact that like Pla and I are working together, she's more creative and innovative than me in many ways, and vice versa. So it's not about whether you're a designer. As you know, anyone can be creative and innovative. I guess the fact that there's so many people on that side who don't feel as confident in innovation, that's a real interesting question to ask yourselves as a whole. Because if you want to be innovative as a school, and if you don't feel like you're innovative, I think you've got a little problem. Maybe. Okay.
Okay, so I think this is a good exercise to lead to the next workshop that we are going to do.
Right. So we're going to break you into 5 groups.
How about count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
One, two, three, four, five.
One. Oh, two. Two.
3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Did anyone not name a number? 5. Okay, everyone's got a number? Okay, so let's start with 1's over there, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You don't have to actually stand in the corner, just kind of take the direction.
Student think who you are, right?
What you think the school is. So when I, as a student, are looking at you, you think it's about what you personally think I, as a student, would think you are.
It's like there are 2 aspects. If I pretend to be the students, I would have one thinking, one keyword. But if I thought what we are is going to be another keyword.
Yeah. So the situation is that it's not about what the student thinks,
What I
what
think.
you think. Okay. Yeah. Because we're trying to get a sense of what we all here think we are. And I just use the student as an example of how that information can be used. Okay? Okay, we're waiting for a few more. Okay, we're going to move on now. Now, on your same sticky, I know you put it up on the board, I want you to write down, based on what you answered, what are the 2 core capabilities you think support what you wrote of the school? So core capabilities, meaning what are the 2 key skills, attributes, knowledge that made you say what you did? So for example, if I said London School of Economics, I can say there's a lot. We have a very, very strong, or we won 20 Nobel Prizes for economics. So what are the core attributes that led you to write what you did? And write that on your sticky note. No. What are the 2 gaps or missing things, missing attributes based on your answer? Now, I'm deliberately not saying what are your strongest assets, and I'm deliberately not saying what are your weakest, because that is relative. So the first one is really what you have that is good, and now it's what you're missing. what you're missing. Two things that you're missing or gaps. Two gaps.
One each. One each. Yes. One
No,
each.
I thought it was in the same.
Oh, really?
Okay, that's okay.
If you want them to cluster, you have to do one
Okay, one cluster on their first answer.
only first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this last question is, what are the two things that you're missing based on your first answer? So if your first answer was the London School of Economics is known for winning Nobel Prizes, what you're missing is maybe a professor who sympathizes with people, because that's just the opposite. You know, what do you think you're missing? Yeah. Okay. Okay? Okay, good work. I see some pictures being taken, so you might want to take some pictures of this board, because I always think it's interesting how people put their sticky notes up on the board. Some are very linear, some are jumbled, some are overlapping. Okay. Okay, so one of the reasons we made the groups the way we did is because we wanted everyone to be multidisciplinary because of the different points of view that you all have as a group, and also to get different points of view from the various work in the school. So now, here's going to be the fun part. You're going to cluster the first question about what is it that your school is known as, that one word. Cluster similar thoughts together.
Maybe I can. Okay, maybe I can explain how to cluster a bit. So I guess all of you have put one of answer. What I'd like you to do is each of you stand just one at a time. Stand up, take your note that you already put it on and tell the group what you told it, what you wrote on it. And then after that you put it back. So the next person to do the same thing, and you might learn that there are something that's similar. For example, Terry may say one thing. Can you just give example?
Okay, so I put up on the board smiling.
Okay, smiling. And I might say happy. And I thought, oh, it's kind of similar, so I put it near her. And after that, after the whole group put things on, you can easily cluster whether these are actually the same or similar or not at all.
Okay, so for example, I get up, I put smiling up on the board, and the plus sitting there, and she said, oh, okay, happy is like smiling, so she'll get up right away and put it on that. And then the next person will get up and say, frog, you know, and maybe that's the only person that says frog. So what we're trying to do is cut down. So that's what you'll do next, is try to cluster similar thoughts. You might not have any clusters, but that's what we want to do, okay? And this is only on the answer, the first question, about one word about what describes your school.
Yeah. Yes, one person is.
Yeah, you take your Post-it. So someone start in your group and take theirs and say, here I am. I think you all know clustering, right? So one person at a time, okay.
And you put, yeah.
So I would say one person go and take theirs, and then just put it up on.
Start it.
Yeah, like dynamic. Is there anything else that's dynamic here? Oh, well, let's say, who's dynamic? Who put dynamic up? Okay, you. Okay, you put dynamic up. So now where's your post-it? Okay, so you hold yours up and says, is there anyone else that has a possibility? No, it doesn't look like, so you just put it
before
here.
you move.
Research creative จริงๆว่าค่อยไปค่อยมาเนี่ยเหมือนนี้ creative กับ research นี่ก็ research
จะเป็นเรื่อง
อ๋อ นี่เขียน2 คีย์ไง
นี่เป็น2 คีย์
อันนี้คือ
ข้อ 2
ข้อ 2 ครับ
อ่ะเราเขียนไว้เลยก็ได้
อันนี้ก็ข้อ 2 ครับใช่อันนี้ก็ข้อ 2
แล้วการ
ครับ
การทำข้อ 2 ไปเลยครับ
แต่เขายังไม่ให้ทำข้อ 2
Okay, so everyone take a seat by your group, and I'd like one person to the room. Oh, group number 1. One person from your group to stand up and tell the rest of the room what your findings are. Each group, I think, has 6 people, right? So, I guess we'll see out of 6 people, how many of you in your small group will think the same thing about your school. Okay, who wants to start? Group 1. What were some of the findings? And so say it out loud. So if I was a student, I would think of your school in terms of what words?
Actually, we have only 2 persons thinking in the same way for the first question, which is innovative thinking and experiment with English.
Okay, innovative thinking
And experiment with English.
Experiment with English. Okay. Does anyone else have that? Any of those? No? Okay, interesting. Okay, group 2. Someone take the lead here. Here's the...
We have 2 keywords that come. Okay. The first one is a kind of integration, diversity that come together. That's the first one. The second thought is the international.
Integration of what?
Integration of how we work. We have a diversity in terms of design and discipline, and we come together. Kind of.
Okay, does any other group, any of these 3 groups have those 2 words?
Is dynamic count as a diversity? Is dynamic count as a diversity?
I don't know.
Is dynamic count as a diversity?
Depends on your definition.
Exactly. Perfect answer. Okay, group 3.
Yeah.
Okay. In our group, we have one person say freedom, another one say open-minded, creative, experimental, progressive. These 4 people, and from what we are discussing, explaining, we think it could be kind of organized in the same group. We are agree. And one person say, I'm not sure like what our school is about. and then he say our school is high tech. So majority of our group kind of feel that our school is kind of open-minded and work more kind of towards the experimental spirit. This is the first one.
Okay, so again, one word was high tech. Did you have high tech in yours? No. And the other one was?
Not sure.
Okay, the second one, confused? No. Okay. And the other grouping is open-minded.
Yes.
Okay, hey, that's good. Okay. Group 4.
So we have pioneer. Second is international. Pioneer is one. Second is international. Third is creative and open-minded. And last one is user-centered design. Yeah.
Good. Did you hear any similarities between this group? Was anyone listening? Okay, you want to say it again? No.
Pioneer, international, creative and open-minded. Last one is user-centered design.
Almost.
We have user understanding.
Okay, user understanding, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, last group, group 5.
Okay, so we have action research, design experience, alumni. I think this means connections, right? Connections, alumni. And timers, like when you're working against time with deadlines. Fun, user understanding, and critical thinking.
So out of a group of 6 in this group, each person had a different idea of what the school is. So I guess this is very interesting. So we now know that we all have different ideas. The good part is that you all have some good ideas of what the school is. And each school can have multiple, so that's really interesting. The other thing that we learned is that not everyone thinks you're innovative, so those are the 2 things we're going to work on for the next hour and a half, whatever's left. Yeah. Okay. Half hour. Okay, so Paul's going to explain the brainstorming group work that you're going to do next. And brainstorming goes fast, right? That's why we already have half hour. Yeah.
Hello. So I guess now we already talked about things that you think you are, and you start to cluster right now because there are many things that different. So I guess what I like you all to do next is to choose one thing that you would like to work on, and if you can make decision, you can do by vote. Yeah.
Now, again, a lot of these words probably cross teams means the same thing. You know, we're doing this very fast. But it is also to get us aware of who do we really think we are, so we can go forward. And it's also to think about, you know, where we need to go in terms of supporting that idea. You know, if we're international, what does it mean to be international? And what you would probably do after this workshop is take some of these international plus user-centered plus blah, blah, blah. So you come up actually with a narrative sentence. I am, you know, blah, blah, blah. So that's really where the end point is. Okay? So take one and work on it. And you're going to brainstorm then into what that looks like for your school. And remember, you're going to pitch it back to me in terms of what you're offering as a school.
Okay. So before going further, I'd like to tell you more. So what we're going to do right now, we already have many things that you think you are, right? So right now what we said is like, first, please choose one key thing that you think is the thing that you like to work on. If you don't have final agreement, just please vote on that. And you pick one. And after that, I'd like you to brainstorm what this thing would look like. And because we don't have a lot of time, I want you to work specifically how it would look like in terms of student point of view. For example, if you talk about international, it might mean in this school you have like 100 percent like international, or it could mean like students come from more than 50 university countries or whatever. And with that, back to our point, please be creative, think out of the box.
Think about how you're going to convince me, sell me as a student. So again, if I see that your student body is made up of 100 different nationalities, I'm pretty sure you're an international school.
And what are we going to do next is to brainstorm. I would like to give an example of how the brainstorm works. Maybe I can work on one example. Which one you like to work on? Pioneer. Okay. So can you please listen to me a bit how to work on Pioneer? Excuse me.
Group one.
Group one.
Group one.
They're super excited about it. Okay, I'm not paying attention. Okay, so next we are working on brainstorming. So maybe we can work on one of your example. Okay. Just for everyone. So for the brainstorming, everyone please have. Okay. So my rules for brainstorming first, one at a time, meaning that one person would speak and the rest would listen to them. And also use the post-it to capture what you said. For example, now if we work on dynamic, what do you think about dynamic? Can you brainstorm on how the student dynamic will look like?
I think dynamic has many aspects. In the process of learning, it could have multiple methodologies to working on, and also many international collaboration exchange can be dynamic as well.
Okay, so from what she said international collaboration, she can write on the post-it multiple collaboration and put it on the board. And then the other person that think about other things, write on the next thing and put it on the board.
Now, you can tell me that if I'm looking at a little video on YouTube for your school, or if I'm reading something, or what I'm doing. So if, say that I see your word and I click on it and it opens up a YouTube, you can play it out, like acting. Or if it's words, you can just read it to me. Or if it's a cartoon, whatever you want. And that's why we're using prototype. Deliver it in a way that expresses who you are.
Any question? Okay.
Go.
Three minutes left.
Should I quiz? Yeah. Number 5.
หมดเวลา Okay. So now we will get each group to present. Start from group number 5.
5.
Okay, so here's Okay, quiet everyone. Quiet. Okay. We're going to start with group number 5. And I'm going to sit here unless you want me to do something else, okay? Okay, so everyone quiet. So here's the scenario. I'm sitting here. I'm at home. It's very late. I'm on my computer and I have some papers here and I'm looking for where I'm going to go to school. So each team will come up to me and you tell me if I'm looking at my computer screen or my iPad or a newspaper and present your information about why I should consider you.
If you are 16 years old, right? So probably you play with your phone or your iPad, and suddenly it's a Facebook Live. Okay.
This is a jumbo TV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a Facebook Live, right? Of students, of a student who study in our universities, and you can see this is 1 million, 1.2 million viewer already. So and a lot of locals has fly in, like lots of people like it because we think that it's important to use kid speaking with kid. So they use their similar language and way of persuade or way of telling what is a good experience about study in these universities and what is kind of something that this university can offer that other cannot. So this is one students who would like to tell their friends.
Hello, new kid.
Okay, I'm typing back. Am I on chat or am I typing?
I will live with Facebook already. So as you see, our faculty is very free curriculum. And then you can hands-on to try every section of the class that you're interested in. And then you have more 24 hours in school. That's very cool to use the studio to do your work. There's no limit. And then
wow, it just in this short time has gone up to 2 million. Whoa.
Oh.
This must be an international school with different time zones.
Yeah. So as you see, we have no time limit to use the studio to do your work, and any times to talk with the teacher or instructor that can give at a time to you already as you want.
That is so important because I am always late. Always late.
And then you can see many of the senior is non-age limit too. So if you can join with our senior who is 40, 60, or 80 in this school, that's very cool, right? You can enjoy with their life experiment too. So as you see, many labs, they have the new equipment you can use as well.
Wow.
Yeah, that's very cool. And you can design your environment for you working by yourself. Like you can painting your studio into pink color or the yellow color as you want. And you have a lot of field trip with any instructor that can take you to go to the tower. Like like in history class, the teacher can take you to the Italy.
Italy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or Germany, as you can. So, and the experience that you can make the student who come from the another country, like the exchange program, or if you need to go to the another country, you can go.
Wow, I can travel, huh?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Wow,
Ah,
4
you
million.
So you can use the mixed media to presentation about your artwork to the teacher. They have instructive about the tool or the how to you to explain or presentation from your work.
That's great.
Yeah,
Wow.
like the photograph or the craft, or you want to use that the iron make the model. That is very fun. And then let's come to try out the new experience with our school.
Wow.
That's all.
I don't know. I don't know if this is a school or a social club, but maybe it's a dating app. This is very interesting. I think I'm definitely going to look into this school. I hope I can afford it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I ask you, what was your main word again? What was the word that you chose to, that word that you chose?
We designed a new experience for students. So everyone who come here, they would get a new experience in their life. Yeah, through design. Yeah.
I like that. New experience in their life. Nice. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, competition is tough. Okay. Okay, I have definitely bookmarked this site. Group number 4.
We have to move this.
Should I? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, remember I'm like.
You should have a mic. Do you want to give the intro, or I give the intro? You should have a mic. Okay, so good afternoon. Before we start the actual plan, okay, let me just give a really brief overview. So we chose the word pioneer from the 4 words, the 4 groups that we had earlier. And the reason that we chose this is because we remember the beginning of SOAD, which was actually 20 years ago. We were the first international/English program in the country. And everybody feels that we succeeded in that because after this, many other universities followed suit. So we think about this because we do not want to be, what was the company? Toshiba? Sorry, we don't want, or Nokia, okay? You know, Nokia was the leading phone company in the past, and we don't want to get, well, you know what I mean, okay? So this is what we were thinking. So because of this, we thought that we can, the unique and pioneer program that we can offer is a full customizable or course that, a student can actually choose subjects and courses according to his or her preference, okay? But also in keeping with the school standards. So that's the whole idea, okay? So now let me introduce 2 of my group members to show us what it means by customizable learning.
So always like
since you're 16 years old, I would like compare it like very simple and easy one, right? Just think about like we are like 7-Eleven, right? So there's two kind of customers: the one who know what they want, and the one who doesn't know what they actually want, right? If they know what they want, they go and grab like Coke, check out, right? If they doesn't know like what, if they don't know what they actually want, they just wandering around. Probably it's like grab something, probably it's like not sure, return it, and then they grab other things. Think about it like that. So I enter the store. I go and grab architectures, right? I get the architectures. I go and pay, and I can. And at the end, probably like the seller can offer you something more. Like you want some salapao or bun kind of things, right? And then if you want it, you buy it and you can get a portion of it, right? So if like we offer it and you don't want it, you just leave, right? And if you're not sure, right, what you really want, so we even have like a portion of taste, right? So you can taste it. Like that's what the idea. That like if you test it, we allow you to probably is the product probably is like allow you to test it online. Probably is like apps or website things that you can get a better idea of like architecture is, the industrial design is, interior design, what they actually like teach you like very easy. We can even open like 24 hours a day online. You can test it. You can learn something on that, right? You can just come into the school, experience it. If you don't like it, you just leave. Like very easy. That's just the idea, okay? And you probably have something to add it up. No, that's all.
The idea is like maybe we have a discovery kind of a discovery page before you get into the architecture and design, because 16 years old, maybe you're not sure what you want to be. Yes? So we have that menu. So we have that menu. You can do either some tests or maybe we have an app. So you can test, maybe you don't really want to be an architect. You would like to do, say, architecture plus engineering. Nobody's offered that. We can offer that,
Nice.
something like that.
Nice. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, this is very interesting. I'm going to have to play with this all night. So, okay, thank you. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, the problem is that keeps interrupting. It's taking up all my bandwidth. Okay.
Okay, and we just figured out we have only one spot left. You want to register
Only
or
one
not?
spot. Oh, the pressure. In 5 minutes. Well, since you're a pioneer, I kind of like that since I'm from California and we're pioneers. So interesting. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.